Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors, and also basketball opinions. Again, guys, want to apologize for the way that YouTube acts sometimes. It feels like YouTube doesn't do a very good job of letting people know when we're live. So, what I'm going to need you to do, and this is going to be a huge favor to ask of everybody, but I think it's the only way to really do it. Let me just set everything up here in the background while I talk. But what I'm going to need you to do, and what I'm going to hopefully beg and ask for, is that you guys follow my Twitter account. Follow my Twitter account at The Charge Stream, and it'll let you know when we're live. This is probably the best way to know when we're live, and I'll put my camera on really quick just to talk. This will be probably the best way to kind of communicate with you guys and let you know when I am live, because it is frustrating. I follow my own YouTube account just to make sure to test it to see how everything is, but it just didn't tell me that we were live. I mean, I didn't get a notification, and the only way I found out is because it was on my feed. And to be honest with you, that's frustrating because I really want to show that I'm live right away. Like, I want you guys to know that, hey, the Charge is on right now. Guys like Tyrese, Supreme Gamer, I'm sure you guys, when you guys watch this, or if you guys watch this, I'm sure it probably frustrates you as well that we are not live. So, just wanted to let you know that we are live, and let me just go to a live scene really quick to show you. And let's go to green screen. Just to let you know that we are live. So here, you will see on my Twitter account that we are live. At The Charge Stream is the name of the Twitter account. And I'm going to have this be the symbol, and I really wish it would push when I am live and not just say live. Maybe that's something I have to change in the Go Live bot. This is when you're live. No, I need this to I need this just to push. Let me see here. Nah. I'm going to have to figure this out, just because it is frustrating, like I said. Because I want to show you guys that I am live. We had a little bit of a mishap yesterday, just due to the fact that the Streamlabs just absolutely crashed on me. I was a little bit frustrated with that. So, again, guys, I do apologize that yesterday's stream kind of went, I would say, a little bit, wow, this hair just does not want to cooperate with me today. That we had a little bit of a mishap. And so, like I said, I do apologize for that. And so, let's just get started. But before we do, guys, please remember to hit that like button. Also remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new to The Charge. Of course, guys, we are bringing you Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, trying to give you the latest NBA news and rumors, and of course, the emphasis on basketball opinions. But what better way to start than by going to Sham's Twitter, if you guys don't know Sham, and just talking about this new situation at hand that we got here. So, if you guys don't know, the NBA is now beginning to use their security team to be stationed at half court for compliance of rules regarding pre- and post-game interactions. So, I'm not sure if there's any games on live yet, but I will kind of have it in the background just to see when we do watch games, how it looks. Because to be honest with you, it's I would be, oh wow, Brooklyn Cleveland is a League Pass game. Interesting. So ESPN Philly. Okay, that's kind of lame though. But nevertheless, it is looking like we are getting a half court mandate of, hey, you're not playing anything, you're not doing anything until hang on, let me just sign into the provider. Hopefully it's all good. Going to mute the audio just in case. Okay, so we got them at Cleveland. But yeah, just it is frustrating, I would say, because I'm trying to go live on this stuff, and it is frustrating sometimes. But nevertheless, we're here to talk about the news and rumors. So, they said that pre-post game you're not going to communicate with one another, you're not going to be doing anything, and this is something that the NBA and the NBA PA agreed on. Players maintaining 6 feet of distance, refraining from hugs and handshakes, and wearing masks. And to be honest with you, I think that this is a load of crock. If this wasn't YouTube, I would say a lot more. But because we are a kid-friendly show, we are a family-friendly show, we will not be using the swear words. At least from me, you will not hear a swear word from me often. But, the thing that is kind of bull jive about this is just the fact that, look, I mean, the first tweet reply says it all. No hugs or handshake, meanwhile, during the game. And I get what the NBA is trying to do. They're trying to eliminate the extra stuff. They're trying to eliminate anything that could potentially happen. But at the same time, guys, this is, of course, going to Adam Silver. And we'll talk about his kind of what he debated about doing, especially as it pertains to trying to get in front of everybody and try to get the vaccine as a PSA. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That one irks me a little bit more. But going to this kind of situation, I mean, look, NBA players, whether you are a starter or a bench player, you are going to be interacting with the other team no matter what. This, to me, just screams of, we're trying to make money, so we're trying to let our players play, but then not do anything. Like, to be honest with you, it does, like, if you want the unnecessary contact, if you don't want the players interacting with one another, then you cancel the season. Otherwise, there's no sort of, I would say, like, the only thing that I could say is that they need to wear masks when they do, finish a game, or when they do handshakes and all that other stuff. I'm okay with that because you do need to try and eliminate that stuff. But at the same time, what is frustrating to me is that, we're talking about players interacting with one another, players just kind of doing their thing. Meanwhile, I'm just seeing these sort of like necessary, like, it doesn't matter. Look, you're contacting these players 48 minutes a game, so it's not like it's that much change. I mean, right now we got the Kyrie Irving just offensive foul, so we will be going live with that part of this in just a second. But just kind of wanted to communicate with you that this is just one of those things where, again, the NBA is just doing this because they're trying to make money. They're trying to make sure that their players are healthy. But look, man, these players are, unless you tell them, hey, you can't hang out with anybody but the people that are associated with their work, then that's the way it has to be. And to be honest with you, I don't think that's necessarily fair, because we don't ask other employees to do the same thing. And I understand, oh, well, basketball is different. No, it's not different. It's the same job. Just like I said with the Kyrie Irving situation, where he has to tell his employer where he is and where he's at. It's the same thing here. You can't tell these players what they can and can't do, just like your boss can't tell you what you can and can't do if you don't go to work. Right? Like, they're not, your bosses aren't telling you, hey, don't hang out with Sally, Bob, and Sarah after work because, you might contract COVID. No, they'll probably tell you to be safe, but they can't just go out and say, like, hey, you're not allowed to hang out with them or else you're fired. And it's the same thing in the NBA. Like, we're not, good move by Kyrie. Whap! Good move, Kyrie. I couldn't hear what he said. Not you, Siri. Kyrie. But yeah, I mean, just kind of going from that expectation, like, that to me is the frustrating thing. Hey, Sean, I'm not sure if I said hi yet, but how you doing, man? Like I said, it is frustrating to me that there's such a, I would say the NBA is really trying to, it's a league of trying to do too much, in my opinion. Let's go here. I just kind of look at the reply here. And I think this response to me is like the perfect response to anything that I saw here. Whether it's unnecessary or necessary contact, and this was someone replying to it saying, oh, well, that's unnecessary contact. He said here, contact is contact. You got guys posting up all the game, but can't handshake the same player good after a game. COVID doesn't wait until the buzzer, and that's the thing. Like, the NBA, I think, thinks that COVID is going to be waiting for them to, like, the COVID's just going to be waiting on the sideline, ready until it's time to start the game. And they're like, okay, yep, COVID, you're back now. No, like, COVID, like, contact is contact, no matter what it is. Whether you're Larry Nance Jr. right now against Jeff Green, like, that is going to happen. And so to me, what is frustrating, and I think that I'm not sure if you guys agree with me in that aspect, but I do find it frustrating, in my opinion, that, you talk about player protection, you talk about player safety. Well, if you really cared about player safety and protection of the players to making sure that they don't do anything, then I think you need to keep that same energy and say, you know what, we're just going to cancel the season, or you do a bubble. That is the only way that you can do it. But the bubbles, again, they're too expensive. They cost a lot of money, and the players just don't want to do it. NFL didn't want to do it. MLB didn't want to do it. Maybe it's understandable in the playoffs, but not so much in the regular season, especially like for these NBA players that play. They're only playing 72 games this season. So, don't expect all of them to play, or don't expect, there not to be a case with 72 games. I'm sorry. And I don't expect these players to want to be in a bubble for 72 games. I wouldn't want to be in a bubble for 72 games or 72, however long that is, right? Until, what is that, like June or July? Like, you're telling me from December all the way to June or July, you can't hang out with anybody, you can't do anything? Like, no, I mean, that's just not realistic. I'm sorry. And, these guys obviously have one of the greatest jobs of all time. Even the coaching staff, one of the greatest jobs of all time. I would love to be there one day as a coaching staff, as a videographer. I would love to do this stuff. But, as it pertains to what's going on in the NBA right now, I would say, I don't necessarily agree with the handshakes and the security team being in the way and not allowing players to handshake or dap up or anything like that. And hopefully more people start to trickle in so you guys can listen to what I have to say. But again, this is a Brooklyn Nets watch along, so we will be watching it in just 1 second. But I did have to kind of let that out and kind of tell you guys, because it is frustrating to me. It is frustrating the way that we expect our NBA players to make the big sacrifice when we ourselves are not going to be, because, like, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter if you're an NBA player, a janitor, or whatever job you have that requires you to be out there, doing your job, whether you're like an Amazon worker or whatever it is. Your boss can't tell you what to do in terms of after work. And it's the same thing here in the NBA. I'm sorry, man. Like, I know that people are going to be upset with me because I'm siding with the players in this one. But look, man, I don't ask Bob, Sally, and Jim that they can't hang out with each other after work and go grab, be outside grabbing, a beverage or whatever, whatever you like to do. Maybe you like to do axe throwing or bowling. I don't know if bowling's open right now, but, axe throwing or any of these other type of sports or any other type of thing. We don't ask them, or we don't ask people if we're not willing to do it ourselves. And so, for these NBA executives, like, look, for Adam Silver, for the GMs, for the coach, like, obviously the coaches, they have to, but like for the GMs and anybody that's in the front office, are you going to make the same sacrifice as the players? That to me is where I agree with the players in this aspect of, okay, you're asking us to, one, give up hanging out with our family or anybody that we're associated with. Are you willing to do the same thing and not see anybody? Not, when your kids are hanging out with other people, you're not hanging out with your kids. You're not hanging out with your significant other. Like that to me, like they're obviously doing that. I know the front office people are doing that. There's no way they're not. But you can't ask the players not to do the same thing as we are here. And so that's the reason why they don't want to play, man. That's the reason why, or not don't want to play, but that's the reason why they don't want to follow this stupid rule. And I do think it's stupid. Because although, yes, you're eliminating extra contact, you're eliminating this and that, front office, GM, anybody associated with the team are still hanging out with people beyond what they're doing. Like, I know the front office people are hanging out with other people. They all have kids. They all probably hang out with the kids' parents. The family or the friends of those kids. They're probably hanging out with them. The kids are going to basketball practice, or depending on what state you live in. And it's just, I need that same energy, and I just don't think they were necessarily getting that from these executives and people that are like, oh, well, we need the players to make sure that they're not contacting anybody. Try and keep it. Good steal. There we go, Larry Nance. I need you for the fantasy points. Good steal. But at the same time, like I said, it is frustrating to me that these, that people on Twitter are saying like, oh, well, it's unnecessary contact. You got to think about, no. Because like I said, I'm not asking you if you're an Amazon worker or you're a teacher. I'm not asking those people, hey, you have to stay home. You can't go out. You can't go out to eat at restaurants. You can't go out to the park and play basketball. You can't do any of that stuff. So to me, that's where the hypocrisy I feel like comes from a lot of these front office GMs, the NBA PA, Adam Silver himself. Like, I know Adam Silver's hanging out with people. He's not by himself in his house, chilling. Like, I'm sure that these front office people can do that because the money that they make, they're allowed to. Just like the NBA players, they're allowed to do the same thing. But if you're not willing to do the same thing, if you're not willing to, sacrifice those type of things, why should I ask an NBA player to do the same thing? Yes, they make a good amount of money playing a sport that we all love. But a job is a job, and people are, fans, front office people are willing to pay these players that much money. Can the players kiss their... No, they cannot. According to the rules, they cannot, Sean. Whether that's a tradition thing or whatever it is, they can't. Just no hugging, no dap ups or anything like that. So, you got like this, right? You can't do any of that stuff. So that to me is where I think it's hypocritical, in my opinion, Sean. Like, I don't know what you think about it, Sean, but I do think it's a little hypocritical of NBA front office and GMs and executives and fans to ask these players to do something that they're not willing to do themselves. Like, I'm sure, when you go golfing with someone, or when you go out to, restaurants, or when you go to the bar, especially, in places that are open. Two? Oh, yo. I was like, what's up, Jalen? But yeah, that's kind of my take on the whole COVID situation. If we're not asking our players, if we're not asking people to do the same thing that we're asking the players to do, and again, I know I may sound like a broken record, but the reason why I sound like a broken record is because I think people are kind of thinking that players are selfish, when in reality, I don't think it's selfish at all. I think they want to be, free as anybody. Like, they want to be free, just like me and you. Just like after work, when we're done with it, we can go to the bar, we can go these other places. I understand when you're a celebrity. I understand when you're an athlete. It's different. But at the same time, I don't think it's that much different. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the NBA, loosens its stance a little bit. But like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of the story? We got, Shams talking about the NBA security will be stationed at half court for compliance rules. I don't necessarily agree with it. But let's look up this next story. That's probably going to be a little bit, I would say, frustrating, in my opinion. And it's this story right here. So, this story before we, we're obviously going to watch the the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving take on the Cleveland Cavaliers as our game to watch. But this story to me is the one that I am probably stunned and confused by, because, I thought Adam Silver was really like the smart guy and had all the right ideas, but this to me is just an ultimately dumb idea. And this is what it says. Adam Silver says NBA is discussing COVID-19 vaccination of players as PSA. So this is, of course, coming from Brian Windhorst. Adam Silver said on Tuesday the league has discussed having players receiving COVID-19 vaccines to educate and influence the public regarding their safety and effectiveness. There's been discussions. It's something we're particularly focused on, Silver said at a virtual conference hosted by Sportico. I don't even know what you call. I don't even know what the name of that is. In the African American community, there's an enormous disparate impact from COVID, but now some perceivably has seen there's been enormous resistance to vaccinations in the African community, understanding the historical reasons. If that resistance continues, it would be very much a double whammy to the black community, because the only way to get out of this pandemic is to get vaccinated. Some health experts, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institutes of Health, has said that the leaders with the large platforms such as ministers, entertainers, and athletes can set an example by getting the vaccine. Listen here. Adam Silver, I understand what you're trying to do. I get it. But this cannot be the way to do it. I don't care. Honestly, I listen to your doctor, everything like that. But look, you can't have celebrities and athletes and ministers and people of influential power jump the line because you're concerned that your players are getting COVID and they're not able to play the game. Like, that to me is just such malarkey from Adam Silver that this to me just, I would be frustrated, honestly, if I'm a regular American, like, and I am a regular American citizen, but just as a regular American, how this to me is a slap in the face to the people that actually do need the vaccine. Basically, you're saying that you want these players, like, you want all of your players to get the vaccine, jump the line ahead of Granny Smith and, whatever elder is, kind of on the verge of needing this vaccine, especially. And you're basically just saying, hey, you know what? You NBA players, you guys can cut the line. No, that's no. I'm sorry. I don't think that this is the appropriate time to do it. I'm sorry. I understand that you think that some people are skeptical, but at the most part, I think people are okay taking the vaccine. Obviously, talk to your doctor, ask your doctor, and they will lead you in the right direction. But as someone who is, trying to make sure that we take care of the elderly and the people that actually need it first, the frontline workers, all those other type of people that do need it first, this to me is a slap in the face. I'm sorry. Adam Silver, this has got to be the most boneheaded thing that you've ever done as a commissioner of the NBA. Because to be honest, like, what message does this send? Basically, what it sends is that if you're a celebrity, if you're someone of influence, if you're someone who has the money, you're able to get the vaccine. You're able to access the stuff that a lot of people can't access. And to me, that's a slap in the face to American citizens that actually do need this vaccine. And I know that maybe people disagree with me in the comment section. Maybe people disagree with me just in general. But I don't know how you can sit here. I don't know how you can stand here and say that, look, we need people of influence to show the public that it's okay. No. Obviously, I think a lot of people think that this vaccine is okay. A lot of people I know are skeptical of it. I know people, especially the African American community, I know that they're skeptical of it. I get it. But, let people of that community, the African American community, or the people that are affected mostly, I think it's Latinos and African Americans that are affected by this disease. When sports are on, people stay home and watch. Exactly, Sean. I mean, that's exactly it. When there's sports, people will stay home. I understand that you might have some people that might go to the bar, but man, it is, I would say, a slap in the face. I understand like I said, I understand what they're trying to do, but like kind of the point that I was going to is it's just like the communities that are mostly affected by it. Like basically you're saying, no, those communities don't matter, but our community does because we are the NBA and we need to set an example. That is absolutely malarkey. And I think that a lot of people need to start looking at that and being like, no, you're not cutting the line because, your star player or some of your star players have gotten COVID and you're worried because it's going to affect your bottom line. I understand that the NBA, the NFL are a multi-billion-dollar business, but that still doesn't mean that these businesses can cut in line for people that actually need it from those communities that you say that you're trying to help. You're taking away vaccines from them. And, I think that there needs to be taking those people, frontline workers, people from those communities need to be taken care of. Anybody that really, the older population needs to be taken care of, and the frontline workers, because they're the ones that are going to be dealing with it a lot. But to be honest with you, like the fact that you're trying to have NBA players cut the line, nah, that's not going to fly with me. And I hope Adam Silver thinks long and hard about it and starts thinking like, all right, I'm not going to cut in front of the line. We're going to start thinking of new strategies as how to get people to want to get vaccinated. Whether that's a commercial, whether that's Anthony Fauci going live and saying like, hey, we need to do this, then it'd be okay. That's the kind of like influence that you can have. But in my opinion, I don't think that that's the right call to jump in line and take away opportunities for other people. But again, that's just my opinion. So with that being said, we are going to move on. We are going to watch the Brooklyn Nets, and you guys are going to hear in the background as we watch the Brooklyn Nets take on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Is working towards in regards to Kyrie Irving. Joe Harris pops out of the timeout, rims out. And the Nets have gone cold compared to the scorching hot start.
We got Jared Allen. Oh, Torian Prince as well.
Torian Prince going against his former team. Here's Jared Allen.
Woo! Jared Allen. High pass.
Dotson's got it. The former Knick set it up for Nance. Bruce Brown gets a piece of it. Kick out.
Ah,
Prince comes up short.
come on, Torian. You need to knock that down.
And I know we talk about
James Harden coming up the court.
but you know, when you don't have the bigs, all that means is that the guards and the wings have to come back and help rebound.
I think Richard Jefferson is on commentary.
Can't hit the three. Started 10 of 10. They've missed their last 6.
Let me put up the score of this game. Let's go to Gamecast, and you guys can.
Cleveland's going to make some changes here. Colin Sexton will check back in now in his 3rd year in the NBA.
And we'll just kind of watch it here.
Osman, Prince, Dotson, and Allen. Dotson corner J.
Yeah, Dotson, come on, man.
Rebounded by Brown.
Gotta knock that down.
Joe Harris off the bench. The cross, the bounce for Perry.
I don't know if I agree with Joe Harris coming off the bench. I think he's actually a really good three-point shooter. I don't know why he's coming off the bench. You think Nets in 7? Sean, I know you wanted to discuss it yesterday, and my stream stuff didn't work, so I apologize. But why do you think the Nets are going to win in 7? Like, do you think they're better than a LeBron James team? I want to know, like, if you think that the Nets are better than the LA Lakers. All right, that's a foul.
Harden put it right in the hands of Sexton. Osman drives in and he's fouled.
Seti.
Well, in Cleveland, has been up and down. I mean, they won their first game. They lost a couple. They had lost 3 straight before beating the Knicks.
Gonna make sure that there's no other news and rumors really quick.
3-point numbers. Ties Vince.
And it's so crazy. I feel like Joe hasn't been here that long with the Brooklyn Nets to be 638. But that just shows you how prolific he's been the last couple of seasons.
So you say, sorry, Sean, I'm going to read yours. So you say they are better. I say by playoff time and a full healthy Durant and a fit Harden will be enough to beat LA. See, I do agree with you that I think they will give them a little bit of challenge, but I still think it's going to be 6 games because ultimately the Brooklyn Nets don't play defense. Like, and I know that's a cop-out. I know people are going to be like, oh, well, they don't. But look at their defensive rebounding rating, and it is absolutely atrocious. And this was, obviously before the Harden trade, but now that you've gotten rid of some of your depth, and, I don't know, man. They have no one to match it. And that's the thing. I think AD is a mismatch for any of these guys. Like, I know Durant doesn't play defense like that. Kyrie's smaller, and they just, this team, I think, is going to take a lot more longer to gel. They might win next year, and that might be when they'll actually win a championship. But this year, I don't see them winning a championship because I think they're too new and, like, in the middle of a pandemic season to really gel together so well. I mean, right now, they got 7 turnovers, and it's only the first quarter. Seti Osman with a nice 3, taking the lead, I believe. Yep, 24-23. Wow, does this thing not update? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why this is not updating.
Lob it up. Perry saves for Harris just barely. That's had a 2-for-1. Didn't take advantage of it. Now they're just hoping to get a clean shot off. Lawawu Cabarro can't hit on the fade. Allen grabs it against Perry. Cleveland can hold for 1.
Gamecast updates. See, it just doesn't. I don't understand. Like, I put the.
Osman, the jumper goes down, and the foul. Brown is called for the hack, and Jetty Osman with a chance at a 4-point play.
Seti, look at Seti hit that 3.
I think did Bruce get him on the arm?
A late hit. Yeah, sir. I think he did. I think it was just a late.
We're just gonna refresh.
And Jetty's got that kind of funky release where the ball's in front of him. So even if you're trying to contest at the ball, he's kind of going forward a little bit.
This means I'm gonna have to look at the chat on my phone. I do apologize for that. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the Gamecast. It's just like,
So Jetty Osman,
we'll just kind of put it down here. Makes his free throw, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So, we got the Cavs up right now 28 to 23. So far what I'm seeing from the Nets is we're seeing Kyrie Irving. He does have some of his game back. You know, he hasn't played really that many minutes, if I'm mistaken. I mean, we look at the full box score. We look at the minutes that he's played. He's played about, I believe, 9 minutes, 3 or 4 from the field. So he's doing his job. He's getting stuff done. But the thing that does concern me about Kyrie is just the turnovers, man. He's got 3 turnovers, 1 offensive foul, I believe 2 just kind of like bad turnovers at the moment. You know, it's not looking too hot right now, and we see that James Harden's kind of letting Kyrie Irving get his groove back. You know, that Kevin Durant's getting his shot up. So I think that this is going to be a situation where we see the Brooklyn Nets try to, you know, gel this all together. And Sean, to go back to that point, I think that that's the reason why I don't think they're going to win, because I think it's going to take too long of them to gel together. Obviously, if they had a full offseason together, if they were able to, at the beginning of this season, commit to that trade and other things like that, I think this team would actually have done a lot better. But because right now the team is kind of being built together as we're seeing it. You know, Chioza's not playing. Tyler Johnson still isn't playing. Joe Harris coming off the bench now. You're really like relying on a lot of these guys that I don't think necessarily are going to make this team a lot better. You're going to have Cabarrot and you know, Perry kind of be. I believe Perry's kind of like a tweener between like a center and a power forward, but I think he's a little bit smaller than that, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, how tall is he? 6'8". So really, like when we really think about it, this Brooklyn Nets team is really size-wise at a disadvantage. I don't think that they're necessarily a team that I could see like, you know, they're not going to like, and this is the reason why their defensive rebounding is really bad, because, you know, Kevin Durant does get boards, but he doesn't get boards like a traditional like power forward center type of build. You know, you also have to rely on Jeff Green, who's going to have to start getting boards, but he's a little bit older. So at the same time, excuse me, man, I drank so much green tea today and I'm still tired. So, you know, we're going to see what happens here as it pertains to the Brooklyn Nets at this moment. Why don't I grab some water really quick? I'm going to grab some more water because I'm running out. But let everybody know that the Gamecast will be on. I'll put some music in the background, and I'll be right back. Let's see here. Oh, whoops. Alrighty, we are back. So let's get this webcam back up. Pause this out. See here, Kevin Durant with a nice and one finish. Let's get the sound back on. 32-25 for anybody that's watching with me. Right now my minute mark is at 10:18. I know that the chat can be a little bit more ahead, or not the chat, but the Gamecast.
last in the league in points. They
see here.
struggle in terms of field percentage, but they also play at a slower pace. So when you give them opportunities,
We'll see how many minutes Kyrie plays tonight. I'm not expecting more than like 25 minutes. I think 25 minutes is probably the range we're going to see Kyrie Irving play. Let's see here. So the Osmond. Wow, Dotson with. Wow, that was a bad turnover right there. Man, I really do. Man, my Gamecast is so far behind, or my game stream is very far behind.
And then now all of a sudden it's time to get down to work. Yes, you were 10 for 10, but now you got to play some defense. You got to be gritty. So this is where the league really kind of separates itself. You got to just be able to just tough it out and be able to make plays when you need to late, especially when
I got to make that.
Making runs.
Joe Harris too strong on the J. Sexton will push the tempo. Once again, he's matched up with Green. Now a switch with Brown.
So down, screen up.
10 to shoot. Sexton using the Allen screen.
Trying to print.
Leads to Prince. His three ball is off.
See here.
Durant was everywhere on that play. The final contest, but even his help around the basket.
Harden just one field goal attempt. That's his second. He missed it. Brown taps the ball to himself. Nets get a reload. Durant, they leave him alone.
Wow.
And he nails it.
Kevin Durant. And we're seeing Kevin Durant. Top of the key. That's his spot, man. You can't get it. You can't let Kyrie get to his spot.
Wide open again because of the spacing of the talent on this team.
Wow, he's good. Man, he's really got to make that. Come on, Colin Sexton.
Here's Durant for Brooklyn. Nets down by 3. Durant for the tie. Oh,
ooh.
No good. Off the rim, out of bounds.
And you see this
man. Wide open for Kevin Durant on that three-point shot. I don't know what Seti was doing. I know that like off the screen, like Sexton was staying with his man, and then Seti was kind of like caught in no man's land where he was either guarding the guy that was coming up the wing or he had to guard Kevin Durant. But man, this is the one thing that I will tell ball players, man. The most dangerous person on the court is the man with the ball. Doesn't matter what their skill level is. Doesn't matter of any of that stuff. The most dangerous man on the court is the ball handler. Whoever has the ball in their hands at the moment. So when you're back in transition, make sure you stop the guy first. And then you're able, because look, there may be points where you give up a wide open three. So you got to make sure that you cover the man first, man. You got to cover the ball handler first, in my opinion.
One of the strongest bigs in the league. But if the Nets are going to play small, you look at Draymond Green at Golden State, right?
All right, this is exciting. We got Kyrie hitting a jumper.
So Jeff Green is going to be a key component to this.
Let's see here. Let's see Kyrie in the little, he's holding a little horn set. We're going to see a little horn set action. Screen from Jordan. Yeah, man. That was a good screen from Jordan, man. A little horn set. Seeing if they're going to do anything. Kyrie just played a two-man game. Defense, still suspect for Kyrie. Let's see here. Screen again.
Ends an 8-0 Brooklyn run. Durant the shake and bake. Looked at a double team. So
Jeff Green, good three. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. See what this set's looking like. Set a down screen. Back door.
Can you still shoot, Richard?
Good shot, Seti. All right, let's see this alley-oop dunk by DeAndre Jordan here really quick. Let's see, screen off of Durant. Man. It's got to be a little bit better there, man. Let's see here.
37-36 or Jam Master, either one.
Okay, I'm just curious. All right. Sexton.
There we go. Colin Sexton with a good shot. Looks like Kyrie Irving misses a bucket here. We'll see how he missed it. So let's see here. Again, screen with DeAndre Jordan. not a bad look, but still, I would say it's a little bit rushed. I know that you got to get your shots. Oh, that's a bad turnover, man. Whoa! Colin Sexton with a crazy play. That was a crazy play. Good block, Colin Sexton. Wow. What a play. What a play what a play. If I could show the replay really quick, man. That was insane. Hopefully they'll have the block here. Let's see here. Colin Sexton. Oops. Oh, they don't have his block. It's annoying. I was hoping someone would retweet the video right away, but man, that was a great block. I wish you guys could have saw that block that he had. It was literally like, you know, Kevin Durant stole the ball. He's on a fast break, and that's the definition of not giving up, man. Colin Sexton literally got back into the play defensive wise and just got a block shot on Kevin Durant. You know, for a guy that's so lanky, you know, Colin Sexton kind of poked his hand in there and got the ball away from him, and that was a great block. And ultimately, they turned over the ball on the other end, but still, great play by them. And it looks like the Celtics are kind of struggling right now against the 76ers. Dallas right now is up 45-42. Detroit and Atlanta starting, and Miami and Toronto is also starting as well. Those are, of course, all on League Pass except for the Boston-Philly game, which is on ESPN. Do you guys, and this is just, let's just kind of have like a little topic discussion here. I kind of wanted to talk about this. I talked about this with my friend Josh. Do you guys feel like ESPN is just kind of, it's very boring at this moment? Like, it's very vanilla, right? Like, you know, you have your games, you know, you have obviously, you know, the games are fun. You have your first take, all that other stuff. But after first take and, you know, just the regular games, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, there's really no other show on that channel that I want to watch. And I don't know whether that's me or whether that's whatever it is. But man, it's just not fun to watch anymore. Like, I remember the days when I was young where you'd have Around the Horn, PTI, and I feel like they just haven't done a really good job of updating and modifying their series. Like, they've kind of like relied on First Take and their games for the longest time. And I know they have this new show with Stephen A. Smith, but even then, I'm not gonna pay for ESPN Plus for that stuff. Like, I'm only paying ESPN Plus because you're able to get like FA Cup games for soccer. You're able to get like games that normally would not be covered, and that's something that I want to continue to watch. But yeah, man, like, and let me know, like I said, in the comment section down below, what did you guys make of what I'm saying here? Like, does it make sense? Am I not making sense? But man, I just don't think that ESPN has it anymore like they used to, and I don't know why they've gotten away from that. I would say they've gone away from where their roots came from. And personally, I did know the founder of ESPN, and you know, I just think that like his vision, I think he had a certain vision for it, and I think that ESPN right now is not living up to that vision. So again, that's just my opinion, but it is what it is at this point. Looks like we're back in the action. We got Kyrie Irving making a jumper, 19-foot pull-up, good bucket.
Irving with 11. James Harden yet to score. It's just 2 field
Let's see here.
Isolation. Drummond gets around. Jordan.
Good finish, Drummond.
And the foul.
Good finish.
And this is one of the concerns with the Nets.
Do you guys think that Drummond gets traded? Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are watching with me now. Do you guys think that Andre Drummond gets traded? I think he does get traded because they have way too many bigs in there. And like I made a joke on Twitter that they basically have all 5 pieces of Exodia when it comes to using them. But man, I don't know where you use Andre Drummond, JaVale McGee, Larry Nance, and Jared Allen at the same time. I like, you know, you probably want to trade one of those guys, and I hope that they do trade one of them to get some more talent around them.
16 rebounds per game. Harden, short, and no offensive rebound for
Good rebound by Nance.
up the floor in a hurry. Early offense for Drummond. Green draws the assignment. Larry Nance.
Oh, come on, Larry Nance. I need that.
Harden has a screen from Jordan. Dotson got picked. Lawalu Cabarro tried the curl. Green lines it up.
Missed it. Seti rebound. Set him one, Nance.
Cleveland 42, the Nets 38. Mismatch. Swing. Osman.
Man, Osman's got to make that, man.
Cleared by Jordan. Jordan had
That's the one thing that I think is holding back Seti Osman, man. I think Seti Osman could be a really good player in this league, but it's just like the inconsistency of his shot and just his drive is just really, I would say, is like probably his biggest hindrance. Like I think he could actually be a really good player in this league. I know that might be crazy. You know, I like certain players, and I think he fits that mold of a player that I would like to have on my team as a coach. But man, it's frustrating sometimes to see how inconsistent Seti can be at times. Because I think when he is on, he's on. But when he's off, it's like it's just. Ugh. And I hope that he does get it consistent, because I think he can get another contract somewhere and actually do help a championship contending team. Maybe not as like the third option, but maybe as a nice role playing type of player.
Irving, swing it to the open man. TLC is off again. He is 0 of 4 from the field. Drummond couldn't catch it cleanly, walking the tightrope.
Come on, Drummond.
Steps in front. Durant with a juggle. Euro, and he spins it in once again.
Durant asking for a foul call. Not going to get it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Literally, the Euro step and the distance.
Let's see here. Let's see what they do here.
There's not much that this man can't do offensively.
Wow, Seti Osman with such a bad.
Here's Irving through traffic.
Good steal.
Lost the ball and turned it over. Osman's got it for Cleveland.
Good kick ahead. Bang, timeout. Probably no timeout. Maybe half court. Now Steve Nash calls timeout. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like what I'm seeing here, Sean, and I don't know if you're still with me here on the channel right now, but the one thing, and I know this is Cleveland, I know that when they played the Orlando Magic, they won by 1. I know they beat the Bucks, but like, you know, when you're struggling right now against the Cleveland Cavaliers, I know that right now, you know, Kyrie Irving is getting back into, I would say, basketball shape in terms of he's starting to get his jumper down. He's starting to get his, you know, handles down. But right now, I'm just not seeing, like, I think this team is just prone to making too many mistakes, in my opinion. And so at the end of the day, we'll see what happens when it pertains to what's going on for the Brooklyn Nets. But like, that's kind of the thing that I'm noticing about Brooklyn at this point, is that I do think that they're very turnover happy. If we look at their stats right now, and obviously the box score doesn't tell the whole story. So relax to my people that don't pay attention to the stat box. You know, 10 turnovers at this point. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily good. Oh, what's up, Supreme Gamer? How you doing? So the new rules are, Supreme Gamer, that they're going to have security guards at the half-court line and on the sideline to make sure that these players don't like fist bump, dap up, or anything like that. So basically, they have babysitters out there to make sure that they don't do anything that would imply them contacting another person. Even though they play a game for 48 minutes, 38 minutes, however long the basketball game is, and they're able to, you know, post each other up and do all this thing. And I do agree with you, Supreme Gamer. It is dumb. The reason why I think it's so dumb is because, look, you guys are already guarding each other for that long. It's like the NBA is just trying to, I understand they're trying to like have the unnecessary contact, but what difference does it make if you're literally talking to them for like maybe 2 to 3 minutes after a game compared to guarding them for 38, 35 minutes? And I made the analogy of, we don't ask our coworkers, we don't ask our, I would say, you know, like Supreme Gamer, I don't know if you work or not, or what your occupation is, but it would be like your boss telling you that you can't hang out with your coworkers after work because you don't want to get COVID. When in reality, you're, you know, I don't know if you have a good relationship with your coworkers or not, but like for me, for example, like my coworkers, you know, if you want to hang out afterwards, that's fine. Like obviously I'm going to be wearing a mask, I'm going to be socially distant, but I'm still going to hang out with them. But how can you tell an NBA player they can't do that? how can we as fans tell players not to do that when we're not willing to do it ourselves? And so I think it's dumb that the NBA is asking these players to do these things when they themselves aren't going to be doing it. Like, they're still going to be talking to their friends. They're still going to be in contact with people that might have it. And so it's like, if you're going to make that risk, why do the players get a chance to make that risk as well? I mean, that's just how life should be. It should be a risk, but I know obviously I'm talking from a different perspective. So I know some people might not agree with me, but that's kind of my opinion at the point. It's just like, I think that these players are getting shafted by the NBA in many aspects because they're not allowed to quote unquote touch each other or give each other dap ups. But let's return back to the game really quick. James Harden come off the dribble. Let's see here. Spaced out with 3 low, 1 high with Kyrie. Or it's 2 high, I guess. Too much dribbling. Yeah, I mean, I don't think James Harden can do this type of basketball, in my opinion. Wow, Kyrie's very lucky that Okoro cannot shoot right now. YouTube. The thing that I get in trouble with Supreme Gamer is not necessarily the audio of the game; it's the music that's in the stadium. That's where my videos get in trouble. So I'm gonna try and mute it when it's ever a timeout or anything like that. It's annoying. I know that I think YouTube does allow audio. Because so far I haven't been kicked off yet, and I've been streaming for a little bit, and we're kind of just been watching the game without any video. Actually, I want to see here really quick if they have the block. No, not yet. Okay, so we'll just watch this really quick. We'll have this down. But yeah, I don't think James Harden can do his dribble stuff like he just did on that previous possession, because I don't think Joe Harris understands that that's the shot. Like, I don't think he's going to get a rhythm from. I don't think any of these players are going to get rhythm from James Harden dribbling too much, and then he kicks it out to them when they're wide open. I just think they need more. Were we talking about no high? Yes, I was talking about high fives and none of that stuff. I think it's dumb, in my opinion. I understand it's not. I know it's unnecessary contact, but at the same time, I don't think your boss is demanding that you don't do that. Like, I think your bosses are gonna be, they're gonna understand that you're gonna hang. Like, your bosses aren't telling you that you can't hang out with people. So why should the NBA be the same way? Like, I know that the NBA and sports are not the same type of jobs as a regular American job, right? But I still think it's the same in terms of we're asking players to do something that we ourselves wouldn't do. Like, you're gonna hang out with people. I know it's just high fives or dap ups, and you can say like, hey, if you're gonna talk, socially distant talk, like, and that's the thing that I think the NBA should do a better job of. But in my opinion, I think the NBA is a little soft in that perspective. But again, that's just me. Good shot, Kyrie.
The mechanics are so perfect, there may not be a better looking in between jump shot in the NBA.
No, it's wrist, it's elevation.
Wait, are you talking about me, like, just overreacting to high fives, or are you talking about just the NBA overreacting to high fives?
Every single time, regardless of his spot on the court. And this is Kyle Korver saying this.
Man, Okoro, come on, man. Me? I mean, yeah, they can take unnecessary precautions, but at the same time, your boss isn't asking you to take the necessary precautions. I don't think your boss is telling you that you can't do something, right? Your boss isn't saying like, hey, you can't hang out with people after work, or hey, you can't high five your coworker. Obviously, you're going to try and limit that interaction with your coworker. And I think the players should do a better job of not getting so close to one another after a game. I do agree with that. But at the same time, they encourage us not to strongly. Yeah, but like I said, they can't fire you, they can't fine you. Where I feel like these players will get fined if they do that. And not to travel. Strongly not recommended. Yeah, but the thing is that some people still do travel. Some people still do these things. So how am I, as a fan, when I know that I do those things myself, how am I going to be upset and be mad at NBA players for doing the same thing? I can't be mad at that. What I can't be mad at is putting yourself in a dangerous situation like James Harden did by going to the strip club, going to a city where he's not from, and partying out there, not wearing a mask and doing all those other things. But if you were, I feel like if you're socially distancing, if you're wearing a mask and you're socially distancing, because I think that's the biggest key to all of this is social distance, then it's fine. But like, to be honest with you, like if I know that I know people that do that, how can I be mad at these players that just want to talk to their friend after a game about what's going on, how's the kids, how's the wife doing, or other things like that? How can I be mad at a player for doing that? He's lonely. I don't know. I just don't necessarily agree with it, in my opinion. I think, like, if your boss isn't going to demand, like, if your boss isn't going to fine you, or, like, he's not going to take away your paycheck, he's not going to fire you because of it, then I don't think that we should necessarily be on the same energy with these players. Like, at the end of the day, these players are going to do what they want, just like we are going to do what we want. And that's just my opinion on everything. Again, I'm not your doctor. Obviously, go see your doctor. Talk to your physician, whatever it is. Talk to them. Don't get your medical advice from me.
You typically wear it around your other NBA friends that don't have championships, but that's really it. Just grab it at halftime.
Let's see, tie game in half.
Show it off, second half. You'll grab it?
I got you. So I got it somewhere.
3 seconds left. Sexton. Oh!
Colin Sexton, great move.
Colin Sexton. And time expires here at the end of the first half as RJ goes to his car to get his ring from the glove compartment.
All right.
We'll step aside.
So it's halftime. Kyrie Irving looking okay. A couple turnovers at the beginning. Let's look at the box score at halftime just to see where we're at right now. Let me show you this block because this is the block right here. I'm going to full screen it for you guys really quick. Okay, let me go back so you guys can see it. Look at this nice hustle by Colin Sexton here. Look at this. Yeah. Gets the block and everything. Great block by him. Great block. And I know that when I looked at the video from my phone, it didn't look very good. But, looking at halftime, Kyrie Irving right now has 4 turnovers, I believe. He has 17 points, so he's doing his thing. But the 4 turnovers to me are kind of a big concern. James Harden right now, 0 of 2, only 2 points. I think this team is going to take a long time to gel. I understand that right now, they're trying to get Kyrie Irving back to like getting those touches, back to playing, and I understand that's the reason why he has so many turnovers, but still a lot of points. But at the same time, they're still going to have to figure out a way to get James Harden involved as well. I mean, Kevin Durant was kind of quiet that game too. I mean, only 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point. With this 3-point shot coming from the top of the key, which is like his, I would say, the hottest of hot zones for him. But James Harden right now is struggling. He's doing the other things. He's getting the rebounds. He's getting the assists, but the points right now are just not coming to him. And as it pertains to the bench, they're not doing anything. Like, right now, the bench is giving you literally 3 points. Joe Harris has yet to connect on any, like, he's only connected on 1 bucket, and that's a 3-pointer. You got Perry, who's 0 for 2. You got Luwalu, who's 0 for 4. So they're going to need the bench to step up, especially if they want to continue to win games, if they want to continue to do things in order to get to that championship aspiration. And right now they're struggling against Cleveland. They struggled against they struggled against the Magic, and they also struggled to beat the Bucks. And I don't necessarily think the Bucks are the echelon team in the Eastern Conference right now. But with that being said, everybody, I'm going to head out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. I know that it is, we went an hour. I do apologize for anything that happened yesterday. I know that the stream was cut into 2 streams, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully you guys are enjoying your Wednesday afternoon. If you're in school and you have finals right now, good luck on that, especially the high school kids. I know that at the school I'm at, they've got finals, so hopefully those kids are doing well on your finals. I keep wanting to say NBA finals, but no, it's your semester 1 finals. So hopefully they're doing well on that. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. Here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. If you guys want to listen to my opinion on the whole mask mandate, the whole NBA COVID vaccine, what's going on with that, go to the beginning of the stream. We talk about that before we watch the game. If you guys want to get my commentary the first half, let me know in the watch the video for the second half of this stream, which I believe is like at the 28 minute, or actually, no, it might be like at the 35 minute mark. If you guys are interested in kind of my commentary of the basketball game between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Brooklyn Nets at this point. Halftime right now, 51-49, as you see on the screen. But like I said, guys, my name is Bernie. Thank you once again for joining. Please remember to hit that like button. Also remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new to make sure that you don't miss our NBA content and when I go live. And remember to follow me on the Charge streams. If we go here, guys, at the Charge stream, follow me right here so you know that you'll never miss an NBA live stream. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. Thank you once again for joining, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.